Alright. Alright. We gotta do it. It has to be done. It has to happen. It's now or never at all. Never, ever at all. Okay. Hey, baby. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. I knew this was going to be a hard one to do, but when you actually sit down and start doing it, you realize just the weight of it all and how small we are in the grand scheme of things. What's going on out there to all my couch potatoes? Welcome to it. It's another episode of the Life So Far podcast with your boy MarazA's. And today on the Life So Far, I decided to put myself and give you guys a long overdue update on my life so far on the Life So Far podcast. And yeah, a lot of people question why I do this. Do I have to do it? Do I not have to? I think to each his own. I've been quiet for a while, and personally, I feel like I've been quiet. Excuse me. I feel like I've been quiet pre-COVID. You know, a lot of you might know that I started live streaming and podcasting long before the lockdown, when most people started to jump on the bandwagon. So I started live streaming in 2019. That's also around the same time I started this podcast, and then I stopped after I think 2 or 3 episodes, and we were doing so well. Um, and so it died because of that. And no, I've had a lot of my supporters. By the way, thank you all so much. Most of you are incredibly patient. Most of you are incredibly kind, and I'm honestly blessed to have uh, a group of supporters like you guys. And that's why today I minimized everything. You know, there's only one camera angle. There's only one place for me to look at you. There's no other place for me to run to. This is face to face with you and me, but it's also face to face with me and me in a way I haven't done in a long time. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, you know, after my silence, I just immediately went into 110. I just flew right back in, and I am running. I mean, you know, anyone who's on my pages will know I respond to comments at the weirdest hours of the morning every single day. I'm interacting with all of my followers on Instagram, on Facebook, especially the Facebook page, which has nearly 400,000 people on it, and of course the MarazA's MC YouTube page, which you're more than likely watching this on. Thank you so much. We just hit 12,000 subscribers. It's been a long time coming. And with the support that I had, it would have happened a lot sooner had I been more consistent. I have not been very consistent in a lot of things that I've done that involved me as a public face, that involved me as Umaraza. I have been very inconsistent, be it music, be it live streaming, be it podcasting. So I've been quiet for a very long time, and in my silence, I stayed in this room a lot. I turned my favorite place, my studio, my state of the art recording studio. I've been so blessed to be able to kit this place up the way that I have, you know. If you've watched me stream live, I'm in the same room I've live streamed on. If you've watched the performance of Six, where there's a, you know, it looks like there's a backdrop. It's just an in studio performance. I'm in the same studio. That place is just off to the left. If you've seen my music video for Pull Up, I'm in the same place where I shot that music video. I shot that one right over there. My live streams happen right over there, and my podcast happens right over here. So I basically built this sanctuary for me to be able to explore all of my creative endeavors within the comfort of my own home, you know? A man cave where I could be away from my wife and kids to do work, but still be within earshot, within a shout's reach, with just they're a doorway. They're on the other side of the door, and this place became a prison of my own making. I started spending more time here in the studio than I did in the real world. I love gaming. I started gaming, and I fell in love with the gaming communities, in particular the gaming community of Destiny 2. And I built friendships that extend all the way from 2017 up until now, um, through gaming. But I did not want to go outside. I did not want to go outside for a very long time. There were many times when I was outside and I absolutely did not want to be there. There's been many instances where you have seen me on stage performing, especially towards the tail end of Guan. And I didn't want to be there. I really, being a fool. But I did it because, you know, the family's got to eat and I have a team to take care of. I pay my DJ. My assistant is my little brother. My road manager slash manager is my brother. Not the same brother, but a different guy. Shout out to Mseti out there. Shout out to Sansa out there. Shout out DJ Young, I would do. And you know, those people were always ready to work, and they were eager, and they were motivated, and they had the energy to work. And I just, it's not that I didn't want to work. I just, fame has been a lot for me. And someone is watching and is like, I don't even know you. I'm really glad you don't. Because although there isn't a single person in the world who's a fan of MarazA who can say, I met MarazA and MarazA blew me off, MarazA was rude. If you are out there and you're saying that, you are lying. We've never met. Every single time I met a supporter, I gave them time, even when I didn't have any. I gave them a smile, even when I didn't have one within me. And I gave them love, even though I was in desperate need of love myself. And so I retreated into my own little shell, into this place. This was supposed to be a sanctuary for creativity. This was supposed to be a place where I could be me and do all the creative things that I like to do. Make amazing music, build computers, build amazing computers, game, test out new virtual reality technology, and connect with people online in a much more complex way. Those of you who are watching my live streams will know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, to this day, no one has reached the level of live streaming that I am capable of doing, which is why I even started that as a side hustle. But then that started being the only way I interact with people, through this medium like this. And as much as this is a kind of interaction, this is not the interaction that's needed. And I spent a long time just watching my rap career fall, fall, crash, burn, and die. And the reason I say it did is because it's no secret I was on a run with Kwan. You know, I was on a very good run with Kwan. I had anyone and everyone trying to get on that remix. And in fact, let me start updating you there. Why didn't I have a Kwan remix? First of all, I didn't want to have a Kwan remix because I was still very naive to the game. The music industry is a game. Anywhere in the world, it's a game. In order to be successful in the game, you have to play the game. You may want to change the rules, but you're just one player. There's 10 other players who are willing to play by the rules that are already set. And the rule is this: when you're not hot, you're not anything to anyone. And as soon as you get hot, you are suddenly something to everyone. And for me, that's hypocritical. That's two-faced. I remember begging people for features, you know, asking people to jump on some songs with me. Even rappers that I was close to and spoke to on a daily, like, yo, let's do a joint. And it's like, yeah, I'll do it, get it done, ish. This is up, nothing. Then Kwan comes out and Kwan blows up. And so many stars hit me up for a remix. And I am not gonna lie to you, I got pissed off. I got really pissed off. Because here I was thinking, listen, Kwan was a freestyle. I've been this dope. I've been making great music. I've made better music than Kwan. And I've been expressing a desire to work with you, and you turn me down like I was nothing. And now that the people are on my side, now you want to. Also, you're not here for me. You don't want to jump on the Kwan remix because you think I'm a great artist who makes great music. You want to jump on the Kwan remix because Kwan is a bandwagon right now. And so I decided not to do a Kwan remix. I didn't do a Kwan remix because, one, not everybody, some of the people who were approaching me to do the remix, to be on a Kwan remix, were people who not that long ago had turned me down when I asked them for favors, or agreed but never, never kept their word, never followed through. Suddenly those people have my number now and they can call 2 times a day. I didn't do it for that reason. And then another reason, which is an even bigger reason, is I felt like I had so much more to show. I'd done Kwan and I had so much more in me. I had so much more. And I remember people would be like, why don't you make another Kwan? And it used to upset me so much because I've already made Kwan. Why must I make another Kwan? Do you hear what you're saying? You're saying, why don't I repeat what I just did? And I was so focused and so hell-bent on showing people what else I'm capable of, musically. what else I can do. I can do this, I can do that. I'm so varied. There's so much to me. So much more than just Kwan. And so I kept making great music. I think I've made better music than Kwan many a time. But then the question started to plague my mind every single time, because every single drop never came up to the Kwan level. And, people would say, it's a nice song, but it's not Kwan. Make a Kwan. I'm like, I did. Fucking did. You want Kwan? There's Kwan. Go listen to Kwan. But then every single time I tried to make music, we're talking 2019 now, 2018, 2019, every single time I tried to make music, from 2018, every time I try to make a song, in the back of my head now are all those voices. Is it on that level of Guan? Is it on that level? Is it going to be on that level? And my main producer, Young Toon, will tell you there's a lot of songs we've made together that we started but never finished. In my own studio, there's a lot of songs that I've started but never finished. And it's because of that pressure to at the time I saw the pressure as the pressure to make another one. The pressure to reach and exceed the success of Kwan. And it took me a long time to realize that, wait a minute, it would not have been lazy of me to make something in that vein, because what I lost sight of at the time, I couldn't see this because I was looking at myself as an artist who has so much to offer. I didn't realize that with Kwan, I had found a lane that was completely my own. No one else was on that lane. I was at one lane and I was running on it, and everyone was happy to watch me run on it. And me, here I am saying, listen, I see you with that lane, eh? But look at my entry. Look how many lanes are here. Look at this. Look at these 6 lanes going in the same direction. There's a slow emergency lane, slow lane, and there's the super fast lane, the mid lane. Not realizing I found a lane that's mine, and all the other lanes that I wanted to show I can also run in already had runners. It took me a long time to realize that. And by the time I realized it was a bit late. I had already developed this resentment towards fame and commercial success. There was a time, I remember in 2017, where I couldn't go and have dinner or lunch with my family without someone coming and shoving a cell phone into my wife's hands, without saying hello and asking for a picture to be taken of me, of MarazA. And now my kids are there, they have to wait. My wife is suddenly turned into a photographer without her asking, without her being asked. She's just a thing, and I'm the only human amongst those people. And I always took that with a smile. I always took that with grace. I always gave those people exactly what they demanded, no matter how rudely they demanded it. And I would always apologize to my family right afterwards. And they're like, no, it's cool, man. It's part of your job. But for me, it upset me a lot. It really hurt. Like, mina ngakhulisa emakhaya. I'm from where you start your greeting esangweni. When you enter the gate, uyakhuleka, sikhulekile kosibanibani. You start saying hello and showing respects, and you get in and you greet everybody before you get down to business. And then you get down to business. You don't greet just the person you came to. You greet everyone you see, because everyone's a human and they're equal. So I couldn't. It was difficult for me to adjust to suddenly being the only person that matters whenever I'm in a group of people. And anyone who knows, a lot, some people have experienced this. If you meet me with a group of people and you say hi, Maraza, I do not take kindly to that, and I always call it out. That part I call out. I always like say, yo, angingedwa. I'm with people. Just say, sibingelele sonke, dog. You and I can have a one-on-one talk, but please recognize that these are humans too. You know? Hey, sanibonani mfethu ninjani? Hey, how's everyone doing? Hey, Maraza, dog, I just wanted to say I love your work, whatever, whatever. Maraza, do you mind if I have a word, whatever? You'll get all of that, but just recognize that I'm with human beings. Because for me, if you just come to me and say, hey, what's up, Maraza? And I'm with three other people. And you're like, yo, Maraza, and you go crazy over me. You jump into our conversation. You stop the conversation midway. And you just, you start wanting to take a pic with me. You say things to me. And you don't even see me. You just see the brand I've built. So if I was never Maraza, I would have not been worthy of you seeing me as human in the first place, because you don't see the humans that I am with right now. I have I have people I idolize. There are stars in the game that you are a fan of, that I am a even bigger fan of. Whenever I come across those people, the first thing I do is greet everyone around them with absolute respect. And I bide my time. I wait. Is this a good entry point? And I greet everyone around them. And I enter. And then I say, hey, I just wanted to talk to Cooley. Yo, Cooley, yo, bro, it's so good to see you. OG, you really inspire me. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We get to chopping it up. And then I even forget to take pictures sometimes, which is why I don't see pictures of me with a lot of celebrities. But I'm going to try and do that more often, because people want to see me with their favorite artists as well. People want to see their favorite artist with their favorite artist. I'll try and do that, but the reason you don't see it much is because when I'm in the moment and living life, I just get in that moment and I decide I'm just gonna be present. So taking a picture of that moment is the last thing that comes to mind for me. Um, yeah, so that happened, and it was really tough. I started to retreat back into my own thing, and now music money is not what it's cranked out to be. I'll tell you that. However much you think your favorite artist is making, I can guarantee you they're making less. I guarantee you. You watch the TV, you see someone there, whatever you think they're making financially, they are making significantly less. Because in South Africa, the economy of fame versus earnings is terribly unbalanced. You become more famous while making zero. You know, you could be everywhere and still be broke. And it's not because you're bad at managing your finances it's just that in South Africa, fame does not translate to earnings. So that created issues for me on the family side of things, because back home, um, I take care of three families. I take care of my father's side of the family. I take care of my mother, who is living separately, ngasekhaya. She separated with my stepdad a while ago, and then I take care of my own family, which is me, my own three children, two here, one up there, my wife, and at the time my little brother and sister, whom I had adopted as my own. So that's all a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and I remember having a conversation with my older sister, and I was like, you guys Yeah, guys, you have no idea how difficult it is to do what I do. I don't complain. I'm a man, and um I've been tasked with manhood, and I'm going to carry it with grace. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to carry it. There's heavy weights on my shoulders, but I am going to carry them. I do not want the load to be lightened. I just want to be strong enough to carry it. But a little bit of compassion every now and then would be great. You guys really think I'm a multi-millionaire, making millions a month because you see me on TV every day. It's just not it. And my sister said, well, of course you'd say that to us, but what we know is if you're on TV, you're making lots of money. So you're making lots of money. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you that I'm not. She was like, nah, you are. And you need to help us out. And that shattered me. That broke me into many pieces. But I took it like a man, and I continued striving towards making sure that I can provide for all of these three sides of my family. And I've started various businesses over the years. One of them is gear rental, the MarazA's rental company, and production as well. I produce online content. I also live stream for corporates, and yeah, I just ended up retreating from the music world because in making music was my therapy. Making music was healing for me. But selling music, I hate that so much, dude. I hate it so much because making music is from the heart. But selling music is chess moves. It's a game. And yeah, I'm talking to you now. I'm someone who understands that it's a game, and I'm ready to play it. And I'm about to be one of the best players you've ever seen because I've accepted that this is a game, and there are rules and regulations, and there's gates, and there's people who open and close gates, and I'm gonna wait my turn, and I'm gonna do what I need to do when I can do it. But I'm under no illusion that this right here is a game. And I hated the game of selling music. And it overflowed into the game, into making music. I started just like, what am I making this song for? What am I doing if it's just going to be another thing that chills on the net? And I slowly built resentment towards music. I'm neither happy nor proud of that at all. But that is exactly what happened. So I was already going through a lot. 2019, 2020, COVID hits. Some of my side hustles take an incredible knock. And I retreated even further. There's lockdown. When lockdown began, I had already been under self-imposed lockdown for about a year and a half. Those close to me will tell you. I lost friends because they thought that I was not being genuine when I told them that, yo, bro, I love you. Um, there's a friend of mine called Emphasis, who once called me and was like, bro, we make plans and you agree and you say, yeah, let's do this, but and then times come to do it and you don't answer your phone and you don't, or you cancel at the last minute when we've made our schedules. And he sent me a voice note and he said like, I don't, angazi noma angifuni ukuba isicefe, I don't want to be a bother. Clearly, I'm a bother, and this thing is not real. I also had a similar interaction with one of my good friends, M2K, where he was like, you just I feel like you don't respect me. You don't respect my time, and you don't respect this friendship because of how much I would want to be with uh, my friends, but struggled to be in the world. And that's where I would have to be with my friends, you know? And although it was painful to hear those two people in particular say that I disrespect them with my actions, um, I could see why they thought that. I could see why they thought that. And it made it even harder that there's at the time I couldn't see how I could change it. I was just in this deep dark hole, and I was just there. I'm in the hole. I'm here. I'm existing. I'm in the hole. It's happening. I'm here. And it's so difficult to explain this to someone who's not going through it because they get vitamin D every day. They see the sun. They go out. They go out into the sun, and they see other people out there in the sun, and all the other friends are like, "I'll see you on Friday too," and they're there on Friday too. And this one person doesn't honor those engagements. Started to pull away from my phone and whatnot. So by the time 2022 rolled around, I was very much alone. Very much alone. So I remember I got this idea. I approached Stilo Makolite. I said, "Yo, listen, I got some gear, and I've been thinking of producing podcasts for people. I'm sitting there doing nothing. I want something that's gonna force me to go outside, and I want to produce a podcast for you." He's like, "Okay, let me sit on it and think about it." And he went and did the concept. He came up with Mbuzi Radio, and I was the co-host. And then I also approached Buddha T. I hit up Buddha T out of the blue after a very long time. I said, "Listen, bro, Zing, I've got this. I've got gear. I have 6K Blackmagic cameras. I have expertise. I have time. I want to produce a podcast for you. I'll shoot it, and you just get people to edit it. That's it." I knew. I was like, "Yo, you came at the right time because I've been wanting to create a podcast." And I'm like, "All right, perfect then, you know." So you already have an idea for a podcast, and now I'm approaching you, pitching that we do a podcast together. So it aligned perfectly, and Chopping It with Buddha T was born. And I produced, I executive produced, and DOP'd and did sound for the first 6 episodes. Initially, I wasn't supposed to do editing. And like I said, I approached and said, "I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to shoot it, do everything, pre-production, everything, lighting, shooting in any, and then I'm going to give you all the footage and you find an editor and you do your thing." We agreed. How am I going to make a living from that? Down the line, when the podcast starts making money, we all start making money. And I was there and I was in it for the long haul. This is early 2022. Um, and well, by early 2022, I mean before June. And we got started and we did it. And he wasn't happy with his editors. And he asked me to edit it. The first episode we did was a mess, but it's because we couldn't do a test run, and every episode changed locations. So each episode was basically a brand new production. As opposed to this, like now doing this here, I know exactly what needs to happen here because we've done it multiple times and it's the same place. And the way he does Chopping It with Buddha Tea now, it's the same place. The guest comes to where you are. So everything is set up is quick. Everyone knows where camera A, B, C is supposed to go, what light is supposed to go there. By the way, if you haven't noticed, we put in a different pair of Cortez on every single episode of the live SoFa. Nike, do the right thing. Hit me, do the right thing. Look behind me. Every single episode of the live SoFa podcast, you'll see a different pair of Cortez on my left and on my right. And you can see that the quality of this podcast is not the same as the quality of episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Chopping It with Buddha T. And it's because I had never signed up to be the editor of that. I knew that on my plate was too much. But a part of me was still, I guess to a degree, a pushover, but also too much of a team player, so to such a degree that I'll overextend myself. And I overextended myself and it showed, you know. But I was still there on the production side of things. I was still doing it, still out there shooting, traveling to Pretoria sometimes. Some for lucky it's sent in. But most of the time it was like PTA, like far destinations to go shoot chopping with Buddha T. And I'm traveling with R1,000, thousands worth of gear, hundreds worth of gear to go and shoot that. And it was taxing, but I was there. I was dedicated. I was for it. I was for the cause. And we were going and we were shooting and we were shooting and we were banking. I assembled a small team of my own. We did the branding for it. I personally did the opening sequence. No, actually, I did the opening sequence with director Nada. Shout out to director Nada, and I oversaw the art direction of the branding with Mason Menzi Mkwanazi. Shout out Menzi. And we did all of that with different branding ideas that we pitched to him. He turned some of them down, some of them were approved, and I mean, before you knew it, we had a podcast, and it was on air. And then, mind you, I'm not making music anymore. I don't like music because I don't like the music game. But little did I know I was stepping into another game. And then tragedy struck. I've never spoken about this publicly until I dropped a song called Kuningi, which is out right now on all digital platforms. And in that song, on verse 2, I say, "Angikholanga ingane yami ifele ezandleni zami, sengisaba nokubamba indlalifa yami," which translates to, I couldn't believe it when my child died in my arms, in my own hands, in my arms. Not from my hands, but in my hands. So much so that I'm afraid to hug my other children because of what these hands have witnessed, than the deaths that they've held. On the 21st of October, 2022, my daughter, my lastborn, suddenly passed away. And we're 5 minutes away from the hospital. And we got there in 3.5 or something. But I know exactly where and when she took her last breath. I felt it. She was on my chest. And then it was just her body. I'm talking about this here now because it keeps coming up when I do radio interviews about the song Kuningi. And I don't want to keep talking about it. Not because I'm ashamed or anything. And although it is very personal, that's actually not the reason either. The reason is I just, I don't want pity. And I don't want to keep scratching at the wounds of my family. Every time they hear a radio interview, there's going to be mention of that. And so, no. Yes, I lost my daughter last year on the 21st of October, buried her on the 2nd of November. And this is the last time I am going to speak publicly in detail about this. But that loss taught me a lot. So for a while, I wasn't able to show up. Obviously, I couldn't shoot for Buddha T that next week, or the week after that, or the week after that. Um, mid-November, they wanted to shoot. We tried to. I was still very much in mourning. Mind you, my daughter was buried on the 2nd of November. I was very much in mourning. And I remember I tried to do a KO shoot, and I don't clearly remember what happened, but I think we were late, but the time window to shoot was also really, really terribly organized. But yeah, I was late, and it was called off. And I went back home. I was thinking, all right, people still, this is fresh. We were laying my seed into the ground 2 weeks ago, you know. And for some reason, it seemed like I wasn't as dedicated to doing the pod as I used to be. And I'm saying that because in there was silence in December, and then in January, I got a text from Buddha T saying, "Yo, Happy New Happy New Year, Brazo," on the 20th of Jan. Just wanted to let you know that I've decided to try and shoot the pod with another production. You have a lot on your hands, and squeezing in our pod was clearly becoming harder for you to do. All right. I was in mourning, but okay. It's been decided. I've decided to try going with another pod. So I was like, okay, cool. So, all right. There's a further conversation that happens. I don't want to go into it, but the gist of it is this: I did not want to be in conflict with Buddha T, because Uste has been my friend and brother for a long time, and he had made a decision that's best for him in his future. And did I feel a way? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But I would also be lying if I said um I was in tip top shape to carry on. And that's why I said to him, okay, I understand. I just wish it had been done with a little bit more compassion. Because I was just told over text that, hey, you're no longer a part of this. And it seemed I'd been replaced long before I was given the text. Which, yeah. And I think um, for themselves, it's the best decision they've made. I mean, I still look on with pride, and although 7 months of working on that production, I gained absolutely nothing from it. Um, I'm happy to see it thrive in the way that it has, and I really hope it continues to grow. Uh, because I was a part of it from inception, and to a degree, it'll always be, you know, one of my babies. One of my babies that had to move on when to a better home, so it could fully spread its wings and grow into the monster I know it's meant to be. So for any one of you who are asking why I was no longer part of the behind of the team of Chopping It with Buddha T, it's that this loss really changed me. It really affected me negatively, and that had a cascading effect on everything I was a part of. I do not think that going to a different production company was the wrong thing to do. I don't think I don't think it would have been fair for them for the podcast to wait as long as it takes for me to heal. Because clearly, I mean, I made the song Kuningi 3 weeks ago. That's the first full song I've recorded in 2 years or more than that. So where would Chopping It with Buddha T be if they had waited for me? I just, truthfully speaking, I just wish that, um, and yes, Tia, I wish you had done that differently. I wish you had maybe done that face to face. Maybe come through to my house, you know. Maybe check how I'm doing. Um, because you're my friend, you're my brother, and I still consider you that. So I wish it had been done different. But the decision was the right one nonetheless. Nonetheless. And so after a while, I also couldn't carry on doing the Stilo Makulide podcast. Obviously. The difference there is, although Stilo, I'm sure, feels a way about it, rightly so, he's been nothing but supportive and understanding. Way more than I would have hoped. And I wish that we all dealt with loss the same. But losing someone who comes from you, I can't speak for my wife. I can't speak for my daughter's siblings. But as a man, as not only the provider but the protector, watching that happen in my hands, knowing that there's nothing I can do about it but pray, that that broke me. I've lost a lot of people in my life. A few weeks ago, I buried a really good friend of mine, Liberty Mhlanga, aka YBK, aka Vision, aka Mike. We cried. We cried because we lost a friend, a really good friend. I lost my dad a long time ago. I lost uncles, I lost aunts. I've lost a lot of people, but nothing, absolutely nothing will ever feel like losing my daughter the way I lost my daughter. But anyway, I made that song to heal myself. I made that song to reconcile with the fact that I'd lost and hopefully reconcile with music. And to a degree, it worked. People have listened to that song and broken down in tears and cried. Tears of healing. It's a song I made with no intention of releasing. I was just releasing on the song. And it really, really, really took off. And a massive shout out to Lord Script. Lord Script, for it. I love you, bro, and I got your back. If you ever need anything, I'm here. Lord Script came and I said to him, I want to go outside. Okay, actually, truth be told, I don't want to go outside, but I have to go outside. Because I understand now. I understand. And not only to understand now, I understood a long time ago, but I accept now that this is a game and the game has to be played a certain way. I'm ready to play the game again. I'm back in. Tag me in, coach. Wherever you're going, just let me know. Make time and I'll go. And boy, did my boy Lord Script take me everywhere. It was Shibliga everywhere we went. And I'm so grateful to him because I have a hard time. I have a hard time respecting my own impact on South African music and South African hip hop. I have no disillusion. I do not think that I'm even like top 10 contributors. No. But I do have a contribution that a lot of people respect. And over the last few weeks, being out with Lord Script and meeting people who are really successful and doing mad things, and having those people be happy to see me outside and them showing me love has been really revitalizing. And you guys in the comments as well saying, it's good to see you back out. It's good to see you, back out and performing and doing these things. That has been great to watch. So I'm going to end this by going to, once again, you people. You guys have been amazing. And I have some messages here. I've other questions here that I saved that I'm going to answer now. Let's see. Can it be done? Teacher in Jabs SA said, how was your mindset behind that in the classic? And please give us music. Okay, one, music is on its way. Kuningi is out on all DSPs, digital platforms. But my mindset when we made the classic, I was literally just telling a story. I made everything up on It was literally just me writing a script, turning it into a story and telling a story using the medium of hip hop, which is what I grew up listening to. I listened to a lot of storytellers in rap, and that's what I did. Perseverance Laws, it says, will you give us a show which will be a recap of MarazA's since just that days to date? I think as fans would like that. I guess I just did. This must be it. When are you getting MT on that couch? I think you'd chop it up with him better than anyone. I actually did get MT on the couch. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Can we expect a collab between you and MT anytime soon? Yes, there is a collaboration between me and MT. I did a song for MT's album, the upcoming DIY, and I have a song with MT on my upcoming album. So yes, this is by Refinaldo Masingwe. Yes, you can expect multiple collaborations with me, myself and MT. Razja King Thomas says, how are you doing mentally and emotionally, Mganam? I'm doing better now than I was doing yesterday. And yesterday I was doing far better than I was doing last year. And I'm going to be doing better tomorrow. And this is because these are decisions that I've taken. I mean, it's It's very tough right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a very tough time for me. I won't get into it too much, but yeah, hey, sleeping alone is not nice, eh? Uh, Njabulo called Jack Comer says, "Do you know that you dope with Maraza?" Njabulo, sometimes I forget it, but yeah, yeah. Thank you for confirming it. I am the shit. After dropping Sadala and it not getting the momentum it was supposed to get, how did that make you feel? Says Tasson Demande. It at the time I hadn't seen what massive success looks like. So for me, Sadala was a huge success. I was very happy with it. That's a song I made a very long time ago. Um, would you ever take a presenting gig on TV again? Says Tasson Demande. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I love being a presenter. I'm a presenter at heart, and I will always be doing that. LS the rapper says, Who are you working with or will be working with?" Oh dog, I'm working with so many people. But mostly Lasty. Shout out to Lasty. Shout out to Crown Young. Oh my god, you guys have no idea how much you've revitalized my career. You guys are not just amazing artists to work with, you're also amazing friends, you're amazing brothers. Um, I swear to you, I owe Lasty and Crown Young so much. But I'm also trying to work with other guys as well. I'm working with Young Toon, XYZ Ghost, Audio Sims with did Shibiliga, and of course LA Beats with Didi Malining by Big Zulu. I'm also trying to work with Big Zulu on 2 joints, including the remix to Kuningi. And yeah, there's a lot of people that I'm working with, and I couldn't be happier. And there's a lot more people that I'd love to work with. I'd love to work with Blackie. I'd love to work with Nasty C. I'd love to work with Aries, and I think I'm going to work with Aries. I've got something amazing in the pipeline with Jay Jody. I'm really excited about that. That's another solid brew there. What's your take on the game, given that you're one of the greatest but not celebrated, says Tandogutle Mbambo. Tandogutle, the game is the game. And if you want to win in the game, you better play the game. You can't come in the game and expect to change the rules and the regulations one man. That is a recipe for disaster and a path to failure. If you're going to come into the game, understand that game is a game and there are already players and there are already people betting on certain players. Get in there and play your best. I think right now, the game is exactly what the game should be. I wouldn't I have no power to change it, and I am not even wasting my time trying. I'm just trying to be one of the best players they are, because the game will be the game. The people dictate the game. Whether we think it or not, we always think, oh, gatekeepers, the people. What here's a what happened to Forefront, says Tasso Ndimande. Time happened to Forefront. We had our run and we were good and it was nice. And the last question I'm going to answer is from Stelo Surprise Mkwenya. This is on my Facebook page, by the way. What happened between you and MT? I did actually ask him that on the couch, and honestly, MT. I'm assuming you're talking about back then when he signed to Ambitious, and we stopped working together altogether. I think he found something much better than I could ever give him. And I was incredibly happy about that, and I'm still happy about that. And I'm glad that he found that thing, because I've always seen him as a star. And he blew up and he became the star that he was supposed to be. The friendship fell to the wayside. Our friendship died. Even he had once lived here at a time. He didn't come to visit for many, many years. Hardly takes my calls. But I understand that people grow. And people grow, and as people grow, we change friends, we change circles. And right now, MT is doing what's best for MT. And what I want MT to do is what's best for MT. Screw a Maraza. What is best for MT? Can you do that for me? If you can, please do it. Don't look back. That's it. That's it. And if he does that, if you guys do that, and you guys are not failing at life, you're winning. Because I'll tell you one thing. From this day forward, with everything I've mentioned, including the things I've hinted at, if there's one thing that Maraza is going to do, I'm never going to stab anyone in the back, never going to turn on anyone, but I'm going to do what's best for me and for what my supporters want to see me achieve. And if you're one of them and you've been watching, thank you so much. It's been good having myself on my own so far to tell you what my life has been like so far. Leave me a comment in the description below. Which part of this was more interesting to you? What do you want to know more about? And yeah, all the other theories you had about beef with me and MT, nothing of the sort ever happened. I hope this has cleared it up. But yeah, we're definitely not as close as we used to be. And we're not as close as I would like us to be, because I still see him as a younger brother, and I care about him very much. I care about MT very much, and I will defend MT a lot in many situations. It's part of the reason why the first podcast we did with him will probably not drop, and just know that's because of love. But either way, I'm going to do what's best for me, and I am just going to make myself proud, my children proud, the woman who loves me proud, if she still loves me at the time, and my children proud. And I'm definitely back, baby, and I'm here to stay. I haven't changed. I've just grown to understand that sometimes change is necessary. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, turn on notifications, and let us know which guest you'd like to see on the live SoFa next. And yeah, Kuningi is out on all digital platforms. God damn, get it, show some love. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week at 4 p.m. every Wednesday. The live SoFa with Maraza, asking your favorite people how their life is so far on this sofa. Whew. Yeah, definitely harder than I thought. Definitely harder than I thought. I thought I was gonna breeze through this. Stay safe.